With the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Marvel Phase 4 has come to a close, and it's had some ups and some downs. So today let's rank every Phase 4 movie and TV show from worst to best. You guys already know what last place is gonna be. It's She-Hulk. It's by far the worst thing Marvel has ever put out, and there's basically no redeeming qualities to it, other than maybe Daredevil. But if you want to see some more thoughts on the TV show, then watch my full video on it. Let's move on. Next up is I Am Groot. There was nothing really special about this, and it was just meant for light-hearted entertainment. And I think it did that job pretty nicely.
Nice.
Next up is Miss Marvel, which started off really good. The first 2 episodes were really creative and added a nice style that you don't usually see in the MCU. But then, it just slowly went downhill from there. And I think each episode just got worse and worse. Next up is Black Widow, and this movie kinda stinks.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
I don't think it should have been made because it just felt so pointless. And the only thing that really stood out to me was Florence Pugh's performance and the opening title sequence. Other than that, this movie wasn't very good and the CGI was kind of trash. And let's not forget that they totally wasted Taskmaster. Now we got What If, which was Marvel's first endeavor into the animated entertainment industry. And I thought it was pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I liked how each episode was its different story, and then at the end they kind of all came together. But other than that, I feel like every other movie and TV show on this list is just better and has more going for it. That's why it comes down this low. Now we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which had some great character work with Bucky and the Falcon and John Walker. But I think the Flag Smashers were terrible villains, and I think the overall plot of the story was not very interesting. Now we have Eternals, which I respect this movie for trying something different, but it totally fell flat. And I felt like it was just too long, and I didn't really like any of the characters. And that's why it comes down this low. Now we got Thor Love and Thunder, and yikes, this movie is kind of a train wreck. I don't hate it as much as other people do, but they just made Thor feel like a joke, and everything was just building towards a punchline. And I think the only really good thing in this movie was Christian Bale as Gore, but they didn't even use him that much, and it did not live up to the expectations.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Now we got WandaVision, which I don't like as much as some people, because I found Agatha to be a terrible villain, and I think the first couple episodes were pretty creative, but it crumbles in the last couple episodes, and it just wasn't my thing. I was never really a fan of Scarlet Witch and Vision as characters, so I didn't really enjoy it as much as some people. Now we got Hawkeye, which was just such a vibe. The Christmas setting of this TV show was so sick, and Kate Bishop was such a nice addition. But I think when it came to the end of the TV show, when Kingpin got introduced, it just went downhill, which has become kind of a theme with these Marvel TV shows. Now we got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which when I first saw it, I kind of liked it, but then it slowly just went down and down on my MCU ranking. I think Sam Raimi's style really fit well with a Doctor Strange movie, but I think the actual plot and story was very lackluster. And it didn't really feel like a Doctor Strange movie, it felt like a America Chavez movie. And I hated how they abandoned the visual style of the first movie, which made that movie so great. Now we got Moon Knight, which was my most anticipated Marvel TV show. And of course, it started off really good, and I think Oscar Isaac delivered a really good performance. Probably one of the best we've seen in the MCU. But I think the villain was kinda weak, and that final battle with the giant alligator and stuff, yikes, that did not sit right with me. And I think this could have been a better TV show had they kept it not as over the top in the final couple episodes. Now we got Werewolf by Night, which no one expected this to be as good as it was. It was very creative, the black and white cinematography was really good, and come on, Swamp Thing was an absolute G. The story was really creative, and because of the short runtime, it kept you engaged throughout the whole special. And the action was really well done, and it used a lot of cool practical effects that you come to not really see in MCU movies these days. Next up, we got the best MCU show, which was Loki. Loki was definitely a surprise. It was better than I expected. I thought the music was really well handled. I loved Owen Wilson's and Tom Hiddleston's dynamic with each other. And I think the story was really creative, and the introduction of Kang was so well done. And it gets me hyped for the future of the MCU. Now getting to our top 3, we got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This movie has the best action in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and one of the best villains. It did deliver a little too much comedy that really undercut the emotional moments.
Calm down, mate. I'm not dead, it's just a performance. Now get down here, play along.
But other than that, this is one of the best MCU movies we've gotten. Next up at number 2, we got Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie was absolutely insane. When Andrew Garfield popped up, I was like a fangirl out there. Not gonna lie, the first half of this movie is kind of dookie, but the second half really brings it home with a very emotional impact. And I think it has one of the best endings, with Peter Parker being erased from everyone's memory. And I'm super excited to see the future of Spider-Man in the MCU. And Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were so good, and this movie proves that Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. But first place is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This is one of the best MCU movies. It has such an emotional story, and it manages to set itself apart from every other MCU movie with its style and visuals, and its mature, rich themes throughout the movie. I think Shuri's character arc is super well done, and Namor is an excellent villain. And the music is just the cherry on top. And that's it with the ranking. Let me know how you guys rank it down below in the comments. And if you want to see my full review on Black Panther, then click this video right here. And hit the subscribe button if you thought this video was entertaining. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.